Moxie Games 4, The Quest for Peace, is brought to you by Zappos.com. Free shipping, free returns, worry-free shopping, and an unbelievable selection. Zappos.com. Flow Toys, awesome LED flow and juggling equipment like the Vision Glow Clubs. FlowToys.com. The Passing Zone, dangerous stunts, big laughs at PassingZone.com.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome back to the Moxie Games. From the Moxie Games Commentator Command Center at the Plaza Hotel, it's time for the Combat Juggling Championship Finals.
That's right, get ready for Combat Juggling.
Brought to you by Zappos.
Juggler is brought to you by the Passing Zone.
Donuts brought to us by, well...
Actually, I brought these, but now it's time to find out what happens when jugglers stop being polite and start getting real. It's time for Combat Juggling.
Now, yesterday we saw the world's #1 ranked combat player, Johan Pfeiffer, plow through Jefferson Freer and Josh Horton. Horton defeated Ivan Dragshaw in his first matchup, only to be sent to a third-place determining matchup against Alexander Mueller, which he lost. 21st ranked combat juggler Iver Tronstad defeating Nick Thomas and Alexander Mueller to meet Johan Pfeiffer in the finals, which is what we are currently waiting to see.
And well, the wait is over, and now it's time to see which of these two combat juggling giants is going to win this year's coveted Combat Juggling Championship trophy. Much like the award, there can be only one.
Final round, we're going to go to 5 this time, and this is going to be Johan versus Iver.
It's time for our Combat Juggling Finals between Johan Pfeiffer and Iver Tronstad, the #1 ranked combat juggler in the world. Johan Pfeiffer has stormed his way into this final. A quick attack by Tronstad, fended off by Pfeiffer. Now the two competitors are locked up. What a job by Johan Pfeiffer. Nearly kept his pattern going. It's going to be a double out here between these two competitors. We are playing a best of 5 here in the finals. Was best of 4 through the quarters and the semis. Here's Johan approaching carefully on Tronstad. Tronstad with the backhand on the right side, not able to knock a club away from Johan. Now they're tied up again, and another double out as Johan and Iver Tronstad find themselves locked up in some physical combat. You have to think that's going to favor Johan Pfeiffer, who has the size advantage both in height and in broader shoulders, shall we say, than Tronstad. Quick reach in by Johan Pfeiffer. We saw him use that to effect against Josh Horton. And sometimes he takes a cautious approach, and sometimes Johan just walks in, slaps the club away, says, "Young man, I will take that, and I will take a 1-0 lead here in the finals." Tronstad and Pfeiffer sizing each other up. Now Johan and Iver both come away successfully from that attack, keeping their patterns going. They back up on each other. The arms are locked up. They're dancing. It's fancy. And look at that, backing his way all the way up into keeping that pattern alive. Johan Pfeiffer showing some fancy footwork. Iver hanging on for dear life. Johan unimpressed. He has a 2-0 lead in the finals. Not surprising. The #1 combat juggler on planet Earth as of right now, looking to storm his way through the finals the same way he stormed his way through the quarters and semis. See the intense focus there on the face of Johan Pfeiffer. Down goes Tronstad, and even though Johan has a stumble, it is not enough to send him down. You see the strong right hand there of Johan Pfeiffer. Not only does he stay on his feet, he knocks his competitor down. I kind of feel like that should be worth extra points if you can physically demolish your competitor at the same time. Johan, once again, and then he walks away like it's nothing. Swag on fleek, if that actually means anything. As Johan Pfeiffer, look at that. Well, a dismissive little swat forehand with the club, and he is 1 away from winning the championship. It is 4-0, Johan Pfeiffer over Iver Tronstad. Crowd trying to pump up Iver here, but he has a tall task in front of him. He'll have to win 5 in a row against the man who wakes up winning 5 in a row. Iver diving in for the attack, unable to get there. Smarter this time, though, trying to stay away from that physical combat with Johan Pfeiffer, and look at Johan, unfazed by another attack from Iver Tronstad. Johan Pfeiffer with a 5-0 victory in the combat juggling finals completes what has been a remarkable run. You bring the #1 combat juggler in the world over for the competition, and to no one's surprise, he is the champion. We get a look here one more time as they go belly to belly, arm to arm. Johan just with brute strength ripping the club away. Iver Tronstad kind of flipping the hands up and saying, what exactly can I do against this man of mystery, man of juggling, man of champion?
If it looked easy like the 5-0, it wasn't. Like it was really hard opponent, and then yeah.
Was it tough to compete against somebody who's so tall and so long?
I mean, we've gone at each other many times, but still, height, long arms, speed, it all matters. So for sure, it's very hard with all this, but you know, it all depends on skill.
We love to see juggling turned into something violent and competitive. Yes, to make it more accessible to the masses.
I think we all appreciated all of that.
You just gave a stunning display, so very well done, gentlemen.
And there you have it. 8 combatants went in, 1 came out. I hate to tell you this, Jason, but you could have predicted every single outcome based on each competitor's international ranking.
Yeah, how so?
Well, working our way backwards, the #1 ranked combat juggler in the world won tonight.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, and now all the jugglers and dodgeballers can kick back, relax, and pound some donuts as we get ready to watch our final lightsaber battle.
Thanks for that introduction, Adam. So upcoming we have Kang versus Adam, and they're going to be fighting doing our Weapon Master class, which it's a constant rotation of 3 different weapons and 3 different fighting styles that go along with them. You never know what your opponent's going to choose, and you are constantly trying to outplay them in terms of what you're best at, what their weakness is, and you're trying to beat their weapon choice with your own.
There are 3 different weapon choices that our opponents are going to have to choose from. The first being our standard and most commonly used form, and that is called Ray. This is a single saber that can be wielded in either 1 or 2 hands. It will not have a crossguard and will have an average-sized blade for our system. The next one is going to be called Tano class, and this is the 2 swords that are slightly shorter in length and are meant to be wielded in 1 hand because there are 2 of them. The last is the Ren class, which is going to be a 2-handed saber with a crossguard in it. So each of these sabers has their own different pros and cons in it. The Ray class is kind of like an average one. The Tano class is going to be a bit faster. You can be a bit more aggressive there, but it lacks range. And then the Ren class is a little bit more defensive and a little bit more static in its defenses because it has the crossguard, so it can absorb a few extra attacks.
So now that we know what we're up against, let's go straight to the fight.
All right, here we go, folks. We're about to show off the new Weapon Master style or Master Combatant style. So this is essentially a rock, paper, scissors format. So there are 3 weapon styles here, and they're going to have to blind pick, and then they're going to turn around, see what their opponents have chosen, and immediately going to have to remember how to fight with this weapon, how to counteract the style of weapon that their opponent has chosen there, and then combine this with still understanding how their opponent fights. Let's turn it over to Daniel here, who's going to introduce this match.
Every 6 points that is accrued, we will ask you to switch weapons blindly against your opponent. There will be 10 minutes on the clock. At the end of the 10 minutes, the fighter with the most points will win. Fighters, are you ready? Please choose your weapons.
All right, we have Kang Snow on the left here. He is the originator of the Lightspeed Saber Academy. He is the founder, the Grand Poobah, our grand leader, as it were, and that is Adam over there from North Carolina. This is the first or second time that these two have engaged each other. So this will be a very interesting mix-up between these two.
Fighters, fight.
Yeah, both of them are the champions of their region, and so we brought the championship here to see how they end up.
So Kang has a very kind of explosive style there. He likes to keep himself nice and tight, nice and close, likes to use a lot of defensive actions in there.
And then he likes to kind of take all that closeness and then kind of explode outwards in order to get the hit, which we just saw right there, which he landed directly on the hand of Adam.
Yeah, so you'll see Kang do a lot of defensive actions there and convert those into points there. Adam, I've had a chance to fight him a little bit earlier, has a little bit more of an aggressive style. He definitely likes to get in there, likes to swing for the points, and likes to really take ownership of these fights. As you can see here, where he's got posted up in the center here, and he's just swinging heavily at Kang, as Kang is on the defensive, keeping his range, and managing to sneak in points with Kang. Kang there trying for a hook shot.
Yeah, but looks like Kang, looks like he got that hook shot right there. And so a hook shot is when you see the enemy's weapon come across, and then you aim to lift the blade up. So that way you are then reaching under it to then hit their hand on their way out. So that was the first fighting style. Looks like both these fighters have chosen their next weapon.
So the first one we had Ray versus Ray, and looks like this time we're going to have Tano versus Tano.
So both fighters coming out with the two weapons, coming out strong in order to see who's going to take advantage. It's like Adam was holding both weapons forward, and it looks like Kang was just able to sneak in and get the hit off while Adam was trying to be aggressive.
Adam trying to close that distance there, but Kang just managing to step back and strike at Adam as he fills it in.
2 points awarded this way, drinking the score.
Adam there trying to, looks like he's coming in with an aggressive two-handed overhead strike there. Looks
Fighters ready, fight.
like he's going to try to power his way through Kang's defenses here. But Kang there showing a little bit of grace there, managing to duck off to the side and then with a defensive action.
Well, it also looks like Adam is trying to hold his weapons in a very defensive stance, whereas Kang is being more aggressive. He's holding one to kind of bait out the defense, while holding the other one in reserve as once the defense is baited out, to take advantage of the holes in it.
Great. There's a concession on this side. 1 point awarded this way.
It looks like we got some more concessions going on here. Interesting to see how this one turns out, because I think both fighters conceded the points. All right, looks like we get another weapon switch out here. Let's see, what do we got going on here? So we've seen Ray versus Ray, Tano versus Tano, and now we're seeing both fighters going back to Ray.
So both these fighters seem to have similar ideas in terms of how to counter each other's weapon choice. They both think that they're going to get the counter, but both end up selecting the exact same weapon.
Yeah. So the Ray is the more average of the two weapons here. It's kind of a balance between offense and defense there. It's going to have a natural amount of speed, a good amount of defensive action in there, and a good amount of range on it.
Here it looks like Kang was just able to sneak in, get the hand off of Adam. Now we have both fighters priming up, ready to attack.
All right, here we go. This is going to be the style that they're most comfortable with, as this is the most common style here. Oh, looks like Kang's Saber's come out there. It's turned off, but we'll get that fixed up real quick here. Looks like Adam, though, managed to
come across. Looks like Adam was able to get a hit on the leg of Kang.
Nice. I didn't quite see where the contact was made there. Ah, yes, there it was there. So when Kang, looks like when he went to do the deflective action there, Adam kind of powered through and managed to sneak it in to the leg there. But Kang there, oof.
Kang got a nice defense into the offense there. Was able to deflect that hit and then it comes strong with a return strike.
Adam might have actually landed it on the hands. Yeah, it looks like it came in on the hands there. Trying to see how the judges called that. All right, here we go. Adam once more taking a point there, using his range advantage and just kind of trying to drive Kang into that corner there to limit Kang's mobility.
But it looks like Kang was able to block it and then follow up with a return strike.
Yep, Kang there. Oof. Like I said, Kang there showing that like adaptive style there, flowing seamlessly between offense and defense there, doing a static guard into an attack, which then goes into an active defense into an attack there, which finally lands. It's a beautiful combination by Kang. And here we go. Once more, both fighters are switching. Looks like Adam is switching over to our...
Looks like we have a mirror match yet again. Both fighters changing to the cross guard.
The Ren Saber here. So the Ren Saber here is a little bit more defensive in nature. It's meant for two hands here. It's got the cross guard, as you can see there. So you are allowed a little bit more hand protection from here. And it looks like both fighters are just kind of start out swinging there. It looks like Adam manages to sneak in the first point there.
Yeah, it looks like Adam just snuck that in under Kang's defense.
Yeah. So the Ren Saber is going to be a little bit slower than the other Sabers just because it's a bit heavier because of the longer pommel, and the crossguard there adding some extra weight to it. So it's going to be a little bit less maneuverable, but it gains a little bit more in defense here.
Yes, it's also a little bit more awkward just because of those just because the two side sabers coming out. You have to kind of watch where you end up pointing them. You should be careful not to hit yourself.
Kang with a beautiful headshot there, showing the usageness of those quillions there, right there. So as you can see there, he captures the blade on it and then just follows it through and hits Adam right in the head there. But it looks like Adam managed to sneak in a little bit of secondary contact there.
Coming across, both fighters respecting each other's weapon, both wanting to ensure that they block each other's attacks.
Yep, so like as we said here, both fighters are still kind of learning each other here. At this point, I feel like they've gotten a good sense for each other. Kang now,
let's see. Oh, that one was very close.
With the beautiful feint there, and then ducks in there, but Adam just still swings it down here, and looks like we're switching up again here. Adam switching over to the Tanos, the two-handed weapons that are a little bit shorter, but a lot more maneuverable, so you can bounce around there. And finally, Kang has found a non-mirror match here, so now we've got ourselves a Ray versus a Tano.
So now we'll see, the Ray has the longer range, so Kang has some extra reach on Adam, but Adam does have a little bit more speed in terms of what he can do with the two weapons.
Yes, so usually what you're going to want to do here is, as the single saber here, you're either going to want to pick a single hand on the opponent to fight, or you're going to kind of want to maneuver his blade so that they start getting in the way of each other there. So you're going to try to use his two weapons against himself there to stop him from being able to coordinate his attacks with each other.
So let's see, it looks like the refs called that one. Not sure entirely what happened. Ooh, looks like Kang deflected one and Adam was able to follow up with the secondary.
Yeah, so that's the type of coordination you're trying to stop your opponent from being able to do there. So as you can see, Adam was able to block your one weapon with his one weapon, but still had his second weapon free to attack. And Kang here manages to sneak in there and jumping slash at the hit there as Adam is probing Kang's defenses.
All right, looks like both fighters coming out.
Kang now.
It's like Adam being more aggressive and Kang was trying to block it.
Yeah, like that's definitely the situation you don't want to find yourself in there, is a two-sword fighter just barreling down on you, because they're just going to throw more strikes than you can deal with.
16-13, Kang wins.
Looks like that was the match.
They're both fighters kind of congratulating each other on a well-fought fight there.
It seems like Kang is taking the championship home for this region.
Yeah, excellent. Well, he did invent the sport after all.
I would expect the Grandmaster to kind of take over and be the victor. Thank you for watching Lightspeed Saber League. This is the fastest light-based fencing. We'll see you next year.
Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 full days of weird and fun viral sports comes to a close with donuts to spare.
Yeah, well, not so fast. We have one final sport to cover.
Wait, you're paying overtime, right?
And that is the sport of rock, paper, scissors. Now, I'm told we are closing in on Master Roshambollah's location, and he is here in downtown Las Vegas. We kept this on the down low yesterday, but when Master Rush turned up missing, I texted a close friend of mine to head up search and rescue none other than the former Roshamboll world champion, the inventor of the Roshambot, the first Roshamboll playing AI on the internet, Tiltboy, aka Perry Friedman. And he agreed to lead the search effort in exchange for a one-on-one matchup up against the Master. And we sent a camera crew off with Perry to find Master Rush. Let's see what they came up with.
My name's Perry Friedman, and I'm part of the world-famous Tilt Boys. Rochambeau is sort of not just a way of life with us, but actually a religion that we started. Many years ago, I actually created the first Roshambollah on the internet. I wanted to show that people just aren't very good at randomizing, and you can detect patterns in people. And a lot of people think that rock, paper, scissors is not a game of skill, that it's just a game of chance. And I can prove that this AI can beat most humans, so there is obviously an element of skill. You have to concentrate on defense and offense. So while you're still trying to avoid patterns of your own, you're trying to take advantage of patterns of them. and you're also trying to think what they're thinking you're thinking. So sometimes you actually create a pattern when they're expecting there not to be a pattern. So you have to go just one level deeper than they're thinking. I mean, he claims to be the best, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. I want to be the best at Rochambeau because Rochambeau is kind of like poker with no luck. It's just a pure game of skill and psychology.
All right, here we go. Once again, through the miracle of technology, we were able to watch a live feed from Container Park over here at the Plaza. Tilt Boy has located and challenged Master Roshambollah for the Moxie Games 4 Rock, Paper, Scissors Championship. And from what I'm being told, Master Rosh has accepted, but is also uncertain what city he's currently in.
Well, Master Rosh is the RPS master in any city, so fortunately that won't be a handicap. Now, these guys aren't wasting time, they're getting right to it.
With a bacon outfit like that, you don't want to be on the street too late, especially the further east you go on Fremont Street.
So 1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Good strategy to you.
A very friendly handshake between Master Rosh and Tilt Boy setting up. Oh my, Master Rosh is getting rid of that leather jacket before beginning the competition.
He's an athlete. This is a sport for him. What sport do you wear a jacket in?
Well, one where you can wear a bacon jacket, apparently. But Master Rosh gets the sleeve up. Here we go. This is the challenge we have been waiting for.
Now let me tell you how I knew you were going to throw paper then. All during our previous conversation, you were doing this. You were making these sort of motions. Every time you wanted to explain something, you did something like this. But I'm thinking you may be going with your advanced defense. Where
talking to your competitor, the mental game, as important as anything else.
Yeah, everything they're doing right here is just to influence what's about to happen. They're not really talking to each other. They're trying to manipulate each other's minds.
It's all body language. Look at the way that Master Rosh is tilting back and forth, leaning in a little bit. Okay, here we go. Oh, and we are even up at 1. Tilt Boy switching over and gets the win. Tilt Boy 2 in a row. He sticks with Rock.
Well, we're still in the opening, though. I mean, this is a class.
A long way to go.
We both played this match hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Master Rosh trying to talk his way back into a more competitive advantage here. Interesting strategy as Perry sticks with Rock for 3 consecutive victories.
I feel like it's all downhill.
You gotta wonder, is he gonna do Rock again? That's probably what Master Rosh is thinking. Oh no, he switched to Rock.
Look at that. 4-1, Tilt Boy with the lead, 4 consecutive victories.
So far, Perry's mind game is better than Master Rosh's, or maybe he's just hustling him into a false state of security.
Certainly has let Master Rosh try to talk his way through, and we see there that Master Rosh comes back with scissors and is able to get back in the game. He trails 4-2.
There's way more talking in between the throws than actual throws.
Yeah, the rhythm to this does not go nearly as fast as when you and your friends might be doing this at home. There is serious competition happening here. Master Rosh was ready for Rock that time, Jason. Oh, I'm sorry. We are going to have to mute the audio as unlicensed music is being played through Container Park's sound system. We may have to move our athletes to another location.
Yes, and it looks like they've moved right across the street in front of turmeric, which, by the way, is an excellent spice with a lot of health benefits. You all should make sure you're consuming enough turmeric along with raw garlic and ginger on a daily basis. I do like a miso soup with tofu skin and shiitake mushrooms. Not on donut days, of course, but on the other days.
All right, now we switch it up over in front of turmeric.
You're on fire. Oh, that's what I wanted. Back to left-handed. Now I've got a
4-all here, 3 in a row for Master Rosh, and look at that. Perry comes back with scissors. He's been using Rock to gain victory. He is back to a 5-4 advantage here.
Master Rosh has the scissors, and look at this. We've gone 10 times flat even.
And now they're mirroring each other. Every other throw, they're throwing the previous throw of the opposite player.
Oh, and look, Perry comes with vertical paper. That is not one you see very often.
It's not always legal, but Master Rosh is allowing it, so, well, he won anyway.
Master Rosh, I think, is only fine with that because he happened to win that one.
Might be.
But you want me to go paper again?
One of us.
Sure.
Rock tie.
Ooh, okay. All right, first time we've seen them go to the same one.
I think we both know.
I think we do.
Scissors beating paper.
All right, it's a key throw. Whoever gets the lead here, it's probably, well, smooth sailing from there.
I mean, the mid game's always in flux. The end game, you know, all those are written already. But we'll see where we go. Your transitions are seamless, by the way. I really like what I'm seeing here.
I didn't even have to look. You see that? It was like a no-look throw.
And Rock wins again for Perry. We've gone where we're going back and forth each time. Competitors really starting to get into each other's heads.
Especially if I throw... Oh.
Scissors on scissors. First time we've seen both competitors go to scissors. Perry
recalibrate.
maintains his 7-6 lead. And he wins with the vertical paper. Perry is only 2 away from victory here.
All right, I've got to remember not to do the vertical paper. I'll cut that. I'll cut that.
You'll what?
Cut that out. Get it? I'll cut that out.
Yep.
Jason, Master Rosh has been holding that rock out firm, all the way out in front of him, where Perry has
and
it in
Perry
his
did
hand.
throw a rock.
Throw one and let it slide. I can throw one and let it slide.
8-7.
For the kids at home, don't do vertical paper. It's a road to ruin. Road to ruin. So don't do as I say, not as I do. No vertical paper.
So do you think he influenced him by doing this so strongly? Did that get into Perry's head, thinking, or did Perry think he wants me to throw a rock, or does he think he thinks I would think he wants me to throw a rock?
I followed all of that, and I think that Perry has now kind of boxed himself in a little bit because he's almost in a place to psych himself out. Is he going to keep throwing rock, or does Rosh think he will?
He's got his rock on a platform.
And look at that. Perry moves within 1 of victory here with paper to Rosh's rock.
Rosh has 3 to go to get to 10. Perry only has to win 1 throw.
Scissors on scissors as they push. Remember, Perry needs the victory here with only 1 successful throw, and he has his own used against him. Rock makes it 9-8.
Okay, he's closing up the gap here. So now it's 2 for Rosh, 1 for Perry.
And look at that. We push on Rock, but did you see the tongue-in-cheek there with
No,
Perry?
I
It's
didn't.
clearly in his head.
This is where we go rock 600 times in a row.
Right.
We did claim we would go rock the entire time. Who will be the first one to crack?
Perry's in his head at the moment. Still only needs 1 for the victory. 9-8, Rock. Master Rosh looked like he is refocused here.
Perry won with
Oh,
rock
and he
again.
did go to Rock.
9-9. This is for the whole shebang.
That's it,
Now
Jason.
Timeout.
It's 9-9. Rosh needs a timeout.
Helicopter flying overhead. Clearly, these are the news choppers who picked up on what was going on and have come to get a good look. We are late in the night here.
What do you think he's thinking of right here? What is he doing?
I think all he's doing is trying to psych out Perry.
None of this means anything.
No,
he's just trying to make it look like it means something.
Absolutely. He's beating on sandbags that were left in the street by construction crews, and now he has done the ultimate psych out. Will it work, though?
What do you think he's going to throw? What do you think?
I think
Rosh
Perry
gonna
goes.
throw?
I think Perry is going away from Rock.
What is he going to go to? Paper or scissors?
I've got scissors coming from Perry right here, all the way off the grid.
Which means Rosh would have to go with rock.
Oh, and the walk-off!
I don't know what just happened.
How did he know?
Master Rosh threw the scissors and started walking.
He wasn't even
immediately.
looking. He just knew he won.
Oh, Master Rosh has a celebration for the ages. Brandy Chastain, eat your heart out.
I owe it all to the Mantis.
Thank you, green and glorious fire god.
Master Rosh is far from the first person to take off his shirt and run screaming down Fremont Street, but he might be the best. He comes back from down 9-7, wins 3 consecutive throws. That is a remarkable.
Did you think he intentionally let Perry get ahead? Do you think he gave himself that extra challenge just to prove that he's the master, that he can come ahead 3 points in the hole?
You know what, Jason, history is written by the victors, so I think that Master Rosh can say that if he wants.
Yeah.
How do you think the bacon suit affected Perry's ability to compete?
Probably slowed him down a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
He's probably a little slower. Maybe some of those moves were telegraphed.
Honestly, you're one of the top Rochambeau competitors I think I've ever played. It was a,
Thank you. It was
a
an
great
honor.
match. I feel a little bit like Muhammad Ali against George Foreman right now. Took the hits early, but in the end I had to rely on natural conditioning and and I know Perry's background is with the Rochambollah, the first ever artificial intelligence, a Rochambeau thinking machine, much like myself. But dang, this was a good match, and I learned, and I'm not only a better player as a result of that match, I feel like I'm a better person. So thank you, Perry.
My pleasure. It's always an honor, even in defeat.
Until next time.
Until next time.
10-9. I don't remember the last time anybody took me that far.
That's what she said.
You took it right to the edge. Right to the edge.
Then we get the slow-mo replay of Master Rosh. And here was the tricky part here, Jason. Because Perry had been succeeding with Rock all day long, you throw scissors, and Perry comes back with Rock. You're done. Look at the confidence in Master Rosh. He was ready for it.
And he was just in shock. Perry was just like, what the hell just happened?
His bacon was cooked. Master Roshambollah retains his title as the world's greatest rock, paper, scissors champion. And gosh, here we have it again, ladies and gentlemen. 2 full days of weird and fun viral sports comes to a close, and even with rock, paper, scissors, we still have donuts to spare.
This has been Moxie Games 4, The Quest for Peace. Thank you all for joining us, and one more final super big thank you to our sponsors, Zappos.com, PassingZone.com, and FlowToys.com. And thank you to our jugglers who traveled from as far away as Brazil, Norway, Germany, and Malibu.
Right, and so until next time, be weird, have fun, and do more with less. More or less. Take care. See you soon.